Hi, good morning and welcome to Talking Cafe, the 2nd of November 2020. My name's Jane Lillis, I'm Village Agent West Somerset, covering Dolverton and Exmoor with the Community Council for Somerset. And I'm delighted today to have with me Colleen Blake, who is Employment and Skills Lead with Somerset West and Taunton Council, who's going to talk about the community employment hubs and what's going on with those. And also Julie Walker, who is SENSE Executive Officer, SENSE being Special Educational Needs, Somerset Expertise, and Julie Young, who is South Somerset 14 to 19 Partnership Director. I'm going to hand over to Colleen first. Colleen has to leave us fairly quickly because she has to go into another meeting. We're all busy people. But if Colleen would like to just give us a little bit of information about what's happening with the community employment hubs, that would be fine. If you have any questions for these ladies, please pop them in the comments and we will try and get those answered while we're live. If not, we can see if we can get a response to you after the session. Okay, thank you. Colleen, if you'd like to take over the reins. Really interested to hear what's going on with the community employment hubs.
Good morning, everybody. We were on track to reopen the hub, and we've reopened Minehead Hub, which is open on a Friday morning now, every Friday morning at the hub in Minehead next to the fire station. But unfortunately, due to the current news that we've had over the weekend, it now looks like we will have to revisit the reopening of all the other hubs until after this lockdown period. So but they're still available if you want to contact us via the Facebook page. So if you look at the West Somerset Community Employment Hub Facebook page, you will be able to get all up-to-date information, all current local employment opportunities, learning opportunities, and a whole realm of information. Please go onto that website. If you need any help and support, please message us through that site. The one bit of good news that I do have is we've got a virtual careers fair for care that will be happening on Tuesday, the 24th of November from 11 o'clock till 1 o'clock. And that's for everything care. So it could be anything from fostering, it could be childcare, health and social care. If you go on the West Somerset Community Employment Hub Facebook page, you'll find at the top of the page a link to that event. You need to register, get tickets, but before the event, you can click on the YouTube channel so you can view all the people that will be at that fair that you may need to talk to or would like to talk to in relation to career opportunities, current base.
Oh. Oh, unfortunately, we seem to have lost Colleen for the moment. Let me just see if we can get her back. Colleen, are you, no, we have lost Colleen. So while we wait for Colleen to reconnect, hopefully, she's obviously got some connection issues there. If I can invite Julie Young and Julie Walker perhaps just to step in and start to give a little bit of a background on their roles and the Somerset Careers Fair that they are organising.
Yep, so shall I start?
Yes, please.
Hi, so hello everybody. I'm Julie Young and I have two jobs actually. So I'm the South Somerset Partnership Director, like Jane said, but my main role is post-16 advisor at Somerset County Council. So my job there is to make sure that all young people have all the information, guidance, support that they might require to make a successful transition into their post-16 lives. So that work starts really early, right from primary school, in fact, and through secondary school, making sure that young people get the careers information and guidance that they might need. And then any additional support to make sure that once they reach post 16, they either go into further education or into employment or training. So that's basically what my role is. For the last 7 years or so, I've been involved in hosting careers fairs, and we've been hosting those at the Fleet Air Arms Museum for the last 4 or 5 years, and also more recently, the last 2 years, at the Taunton Cricket Club. Because of COVID, of course, we've had to really rethink how we do the careers fairs. So for this year, we're really excited because we've managed to move online and into a virtual arena. So on the 10th of November, from 8:30 in the morning till 7 p.m. at night, we're hosting a live virtual careers fair. And the careers fair is open to anybody to log on, register and attend throughout the day. It's also available for 30 days after the event to go back into and see or get all the resources, etc. But actually on the day, there'll be over 50 exhibitors with stands and people available there all through the day to do live question and answer sessions with students and the public. And as well as that, we have an auditorium. So every hour or half hour, there will be a live presentation on lots of different subjects, ranging from apprenticeships, further education, life at university, how to get funding, mental health and well-being, UT levels, any of our main topics that we think people need to get extra advice about. We've put a seminar on, and like I say, those presenters will be doing live question and answer sessions in their allotted slots. But we have pre-recorded all of those sessions, so they are available to access at any time during the day. So at the moment, we're asking schools to register their students so that any time during the day and for the next 30 days, they can access this careers fair and find out all the information that they need to find out about their next steps, whether that's going to college, an FE college, whether it's going to university, whether it's trying to get an apprenticeship, whether it's going straight into a job. All that information is there. There's also lots of information from some of our charities and the support organisations that we work with to make sure that people can find out about volunteering, charity work, etc. as well. So there's lots and lots of stuff on there. And we're really keen to try and publicise it as widely as we can and get lots of adults, especially parents, involved in looking at the fair as well, because we know that parents are critical in helping young people make the right decision. They're the key influence, really, so they need to have as much information as they can, because one thing we know with everything, as with everything else, it's a very fast changing world, the world of education. So things aren't quite the same. The qualifications and the levels are all slightly different from when we were young and doing that post-16 work ourselves. So it's really good to get up to date, find out the latest information about what's out there and what's available. As part of that work, we've and a lot of the work that we do, and Julie probably explain as well, we do a lot of work to support young people with special education needs and disabilities. And a really big part of the day is our SEND Choices for Life stand that will give lots of information about all aspects of post-16 life and adult life for our young people with special needs and disabilities. So
can I come in here, Julie?
Yeah, I was going to
start interrupting you as usual. So So for us, in terms of our young people with special educational needs and disabilities, it's how we prepare them for their best adult life and the next steps for their adult life. So on our stand, our Choices for Life stand, we look at the 4 preparation for adulthood outcomes, those being employment, independent living, health and well-being, and community and relationships. So there are a lot of resources on there, and we've been doing this as a virtual activity has challenged us in many levels, not least our IT skills. But for those young people that do have SEND, it's how we ensure that the materials are accessible for them was a real concern. So we've had the Unstoppables, which are a group of young people up to 25 with special educational needs and disabilities. They've reviewed it for us because it was important that we got feedback from young people, and the overall feedback was that they loved it, and they really liked that it was like walking into a real careers fair, and there are people at the booths, and they explored the swag bag and chat functions and really enjoyed them. They did have some concerns, which were hilariously that it didn't look like people were socially distancing, and they couldn't see any masks or hand sanitizer available. So so that's their feedback. But yeah, we really would welcome parents supporting young people in accessing our Choices for Life booth, where there are huge amounts of information around independent living. So it's not just about employment, it's about those 4 outcomes of how we best prepare our young people for their best adult life. So please do come and have a look. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just tell us a little bit more about your work and with the SEND communities, and outside of the careers fair, what other opportunities for assistance with employment and general life skills is available.
So we've got a supported employment forum, which Julie chairs one of the forums. So we've got 3 of those that go across the county, which involve all of the special schools, but also employers, other agencies like Job Centre Plus, where we're trying to push the curriculum to better support how we prepare our young people for employment, but also engage with local businesses so that there are opportunities available once the young people finish school. And I'm sure Julie will like to talk about the bids shortly that she's been leading on. But one of the developments has been that we've had a supported employment panel where all of the schools have brought individual young people to the panel, so we can start identifying where there is a trend in a desire for employment outcomes, so that we can act strategically with local employers to start preparing jobs for our young people, so we know who is in the pipeline and wants to gain employment in particular geographical areas or employment routes. But Julie's done a lot of work on bids.
Okay. Do you cover the whole of Somerset?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And a key part of our work is to try and link with employers, large employers and small employers, to try and help us give opportunities to young people with special needs in particular, to provide both work experience, but ultimately our aim is to get them into sustained employment, because we know our young people are really keen to work and they have so many attributes that make them perfect employees. So with the added assistance that we can actually provide to help encourage employers to give these young people an opportunity, we know that it can make a real difference and really enhance employment and a business situation as well, if these young people get that opportunity. So the bids that we've been working on are, one is, which we have been successful actually with the community fund, which has been delayed slightly to start due to COVID, is to a supported employment coordinator who's going to help us really drive this forward, hopefully linking schools and students with employers that have expressed an interest. We've also got funding to train either employees within businesses, people within colleges and schools, and people within support agencies to become job coaches. So a job coach is somebody who learns the job and then helps teach that to the young person in their employment situation. So
they're already within that organisation.
Yeah. So it alleviates the sort of time pressures on an employer to have to maybe go slower or break that job down into smaller parts. That job coach will learn that job and then take that responsibility to teach that young person. And where there is also access to work support, which will help an employer financially to make any adaptations in the workplace that they might need to as well. So we've got funding to train those job coaches. We've also got a bid in at the moment to have a permanent pop-up shop. So you may have seen in the last sort of 18 months or so some of our sense pop-up shops. We've had them in Taunton, Bridgewater, Frome, Yeovil, and those shops sell high-end goods that our SEND students in our special schools have made. And the whole point of those shops is that they get the experience of working with the public, designing and making goods and selling them and dealing and communicating with the public. So we've got a big bid in at the moment to have a permanent shop in Taunton. So we're just waiting to hear the outcome of that. But that will be a brilliant opportunity to have a permanent base for that project.
I'm guessing that's going to be a bit affected by the whole COVID thing at the moment, though.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. But I mean, part of our planning is to have move it onto an online shop as well, so that in the meantime, before we can get back into shops and life returns to some kind of normal, we can keep the momentum going.
Yeah. I think, I mean, that's an area of training that potentially is going to be quite valuable in the current situation, isn't it? To get people to be able to set up their own online shops.
Yeah.
Because we are obviously moving so much more to people becoming self-employed, taking their craft skills or whatever skills and using them far more in a virtual capacity, to find the platforms online to be able to do that and promote them. Yeah, definitely.
And we've got another big project that we've just started doing in Somerset, across Somerset. And it's called Somerset Works, and it's a European social funded project. We managed to just scrape in there before the deadline, and we've got funding for a 3-year project, and that's to work with young people who are at high risk of becoming what we call NEET, not in employment, education and training, 16. So high risk from year 11, from the age of 15, or who are NEET, 16 to 18. So we can work with those to try and help them re-engage and find their best way forward. And a lot of that work is now concentrating on developing entrepreneurial skills, because we think that that's going to be a sort of key focus moving forward. We need to help people to become self-employed. A lot of the routes, the entry-level routes for young people to get jobs like into retail or hospitality, may not be there straight away once we come out of the COVID crisis. So, I think it's an area that we need to keep developing and exploring, because we know that many young people have got amazing digital skills and lots of creativity as well. And if we can help them set up small online or small entrepreneurial businesses, that would be a really good step forward, I think.
We've also got a project with MenCap. I think we're the first local authority area in the southwest to partner with MenCap, where we're going to be offering opportunities for young people to train in a level 2 customer support role. So that's very exciting. But again, we're delayed with COVID, and we're just discussing how to best roll that out. But we're really excited about that opportunity too.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to the careers fair, I think you mentioned you got up 50 businesses taking part. Sort of range of areas covered?
It's from colleges, all the major FE colleges in Somerset are taking part, so Bridgewater, Taunton, Yeovil, Strode, Richard Hewish, lots of local universities in the southwest area, businesses like BAE, EDF, Skanska, Wilmot Dixon, a whole range. We've tried to make sure that we've got a good range across the different sectors taking part, the NHS, etc. And then people like Young Somerset are taking part, and there's I'm just trying to find my list, but I can't close down this bit, so I'm just now I can find it. I'll just update you.
While Julie's looking for her list, in the Choices for Life stand, we'll have village agents, we'll have social workers, we'll have people that specialise in independent living, we'll have people from the health authority who will be available on the live chat facility to be able to answer any questions that you've got.
Fantastic. And again, do you want to reiterate how people get their tickets for that? How they sign up?
Yeah, I've sent Hannah the link. So if she wants to put that link in the chat room, you can it's about 4 or 5 boxes just to fill in with your name and your email address and a password, and then you just register, and then you'll be able to just access the event at any time on the day, from the day onwards.
Yeah, this is the Somerset Careers Fair.co.uk. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, okay, that's lovely. In fact, I think there's two links been put up there as well. One is Somerset-ebp.co.uk, Somerset Careers Fair. So I'm not sure which of those is actually the right one of those is going to get you there.
Yeah, either of those will get you there. The Somerset EBP is our education and business partnership that we have run for the last 3 years, and that makes sure that businesses across Somerset are linked with schools and our education arena. So that's really worth a look at. I would recommend that at any time, because that's got so much information about especially now, about online resources for learning and supporting learning at school. It's giving information about which businesses are looking to link with young people. So there's lots of information there. It's a really good place to go and find out lots of different information about what's happening in both sides, up to date.
Brilliant. Okay, I'm not sure how many people we've got with us live. Is there anybody who's watching us live who's got any specific questions for Julie's, for either regarding the work with SEND people, or regarding the community, the Careers Fair that's taking place on the 10th of November? I haven't seen too many comments come up today, but anybody who is with us, if you want to say hello. Okay, so Kieran Bright has come up with a question. What is the cost for charities to join in? Looking for online volunteers, it says. I don't know if that's an easy question to answer, whether you need more detail on that. Or maybe Kieran could get in touch with you directly to discuss that.
Yeah, I'll just put the email address in the chat box here, and then if they'd like to get in touch with the administrator, she can give rates, but there is a sort of a sliding scale, so we try to make it very, very cheap for anybody, any charities to take part.
Okay, brilliant. That's really good. So are there any other questions? Okay, Kieran says will do. Okay, so Julie, yes, if you can your email, if you're happy to put your email address there. Alternatively, Kieran, you could always message us via the Talking Cafe Facebook page, and we will make with your own email address, and we'll make sure that gets to Julie so she can respond to you as another way we're sorting that communication out. Any other questions specifically to Julie's? Colleen, unfortunately, I think we lost. Just to recap on what Colleen Blake from the Somerset West and Taunton Council was telling us about, just a little bit about the situation with the West Somerset Community Employment Hubs at the moment. That situation is changing. I believe a link has been given in the chat, in the comments section, to the Facebook page for the Community Employment Hubs, which will keep you up to date with what's going on there. But they will also be holding a virtual career fair for the care sector in West Somerset, and there's a link there to a YouTube channel link that will give you information about that career fair. I'm not perhaps in a position myself to answer any specific questions on those, but I'm happy to pass any questions on to Colleen if anybody's got any specific questions relating to what's going on there in West Somerset. Just checking the comments here, not seeing anything else. Is there anything else, Julie, young Julie Walker, that you wanted to say to wrap up?
I'm currently doing quite a bit of work in the West Somerset area with the post-16 area. So with our Somerset Works project, we're looking to set up what we're calling a job club for young people 15 to 18, which will be delivered in different villages around in West Somerset, hopefully from December, January, depending on the current situation, how we can get people into a live venue. But those will be aimed at giving people advice and one-to-one support that they might need to get into their next steps. So,
fantastic. That's really good news to hear. And if you can keep us, West Somerset Village team, up to date with what's happening with that, I'm sure we would be really, really pleased to hear that and be able to pass that on to some of our clients. Thank you. Yeah,
we're hoping that they will actually roll out as well across Somerset, because we're going to be working with Somerset Skills and Learning to run these job clubs. So watch this space. Once we've got through this latest lockdown, we'll be able to work a bit more on that, I think.
brilliant.
But we are currently meeting young people still at the moment, and we are in contact with many young people online to make sure that they stay connected in, because we know a lot of the young people we're supporting with the NEETS project are really struggling with their mental health at the moment. So we're really keen to keep in touch with them as much as we can.
There we go. So we've just got Stuart just popped up and said, can you send some details of the job club, please? info@somersetjobs.co.uk. So there's a request there. Can you see that?
I can see that. Yeah,
you can see that. Brilliant. That's great. And Julie Walker, anything to sum up?
Just to say that, we believe that everybody's life is enriched if they have the opportunity to engage with young people with special educational needs and disabilities. So if there are any employers out there that would like to offer any of our young people an opportunity for some work experience or eventual employment, we'd love to hear from you. And we don't want an our pity vote. Our young people have lots of skills, qualities and attributes that add a real value to the workplace.
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah. Just one thing that popped into my mind that I didn't mention earlier is in terms of mentoring schemes. Are there any mentoring schemes that support what you're doing?
Well, strangely, we've got another bid in at the moment to try and fund some proper mentors. We're calling them advocates to support all our neat young people. But our plan B, in case we're not successful with that bid, is we're working up another sort of offer with Sparks to try and have some advocates, some volunteer advocates who would be prepared to be champions for these young people when they're trying to go for an interview, or help them develop their skills, or just give them that confidence and self-belief that they can actually go the next step. So we're really keen to try and link with anybody that might be interested in being able to do that work with our young people. It wouldn't be mentoring in the full depth of traditional mentoring, but it would definitely be sort of adding confidence, and just, we call it having somebody's back just while they're trying to make that move from being not employed to be engaged. So anybody that would like to help us with that, we'd be really keen to hear from them.
Okay, that's lovely. So anybody can contact Julie Young on that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And thank you very much, ladies. I think that all sounds brilliant, and wish you great success with the Careers Fair, and hope that maybe sometime in the future we can catch up again and see where things are in the future, hopefully post-COVID.
Yeah.
That'd
To
be
let
nice.
you know as well, we've on the 10th December there will be another very similar event, but it will be apprenticeship and jobs fair.
Oh, okay. Yeah, brilliant.
So, as soon as we've got more information about that, we'll send that, but it'll be on the same kind of looking platform. So it's another one, but really concentrating on apprenticeships.
Fabulous. Great. Okay, and Julie, did you have something else there?
No, that's it from me. Just, your comment about, post-COVID, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it, for everybody? Well, let's stay positive. And I think really what's happening and the development of this virtually it's a step forward anyway, isn't it? It's another string to everybody's bow, to be able to take what would have been a face-to-face physical event and put it online in a virtual sense. What you're going to be doing sounds fantastic. So good luck with it. All right.
Thank you.
Everybody, thanks for joining us today. If you've got any further questions, please do post them onto the, just message the Talking Cafe Facebook page, and we'll see that they get to either Colleen, Blake, Julie Young or Julie Walker, and hopefully we can answer any questions that you've had that have come up from this session. Thank you for joining us for Talking Cafe Live, and enjoy the rest of your week. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.